Alright, so I've been using a few of these mowers for a month or two, more like a couple years. This one here is the first mower I ever had. This is Scott's 18-inch, Scott's Pro it's called. It's a 7-blade. It doesn't come with the Ashland roller, but you can buy this online. There's also one from, I think, Real CNC is the name. And it's like heavier, but it's like $100. This one's a lot cheaper. And it can give a lower height of cut. And so this reel mower, this manual one, is pretty fantastic. It'll give you like super good results compared to rotary, and like new, I think they're like 140. And then if you get it used, you can get it for like $100, maybe like $50. But it's a 7-blade there.
Oh boy, you have to come down here for golf course. You got like golf course grass.
Thans, man. Appreciate it.
No, you earned it. It's all yours.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking at all the things you got. I'm like, is this what we're...
So benefits of this mower, super affordable, super easy to maneuver. Downside is it will float once your grass gets super thick. I have videos of that on the channel if you want to see that. So you can like fix some weights to it, as you can kind of see here. I previously had some zip tied weights of different kinds to try to hold it down, but then as you start going up the hill, it can kind of be a pain. When it's 110 degrees outside and you're pushing a manual mower, it gets old after like 30 mows or so. Many folks watching the channel still use one. I haven't sold mine for a reason. I think that says a little bit as well. But yeah, it's great if you're, if you needed to mow over a curb or something, you want to pick it up and maneuver it easily. I mean, you can't beat that. It disassembles pretty easily. If you wanted to bring it somewhere, you take those, actually they're loose, but those wing nuts there, 4 off, and then you can pop in a small car or something pretty easily. But yeah, I recommend this. Once you use one of these, it's kind of on. You're going to want to start upgrading, and once you see the difference compared to like what a rotary mower does, it mows at 3 inches or whatever. But like I said, this mower is pretty low, like around 1 inch. You customize it with the roller, and you get down a little bit lower. I don't think it's in the lowest setting. Nope, it's not. And you can see that by looking right there. There's actually some settings. This is settings on either side, higher and lower, so it's somewhere in the middle. But yeah, that's a great mower. I would recommend. There's also the Earthwise at 16. They're all made by the same company with different labels on them. Great States, I think, is the name or something. But I would stay away from like the 14-inch and the 12 and 13-inch. Like those are just too small. And even on a small lawn like this, the extra few inches to be at 18 inches is just a huge asset. So, awesome mower. Over here, the McLane is the most recent addition to the mix here. This is the Greenskeeper 2. It is a 10-blade with the Honda engine, and it's a 20-inch mower, so a little bit wider than the manual, and American-made, fantastic mower. One of my favorite things about this is that it's actually really easy to maneuver, similar to this almost. You're not going to pick it up though, but I will show you. So the controls here, this lever here will drop down that wheel right there, and so when I do this, it'll start rolling away on me. And that's what I mean, is it's actually so easy to kind of maneuver around, without power. That's really nice. Got the throttle here, pretty straightforward. And then when you want to engage, right here, you just engage this, and that will start the reel and also the wheels moving. And so what you can do is leave this up, and so when it engages the wheel right there, it's not actually making contact. It's still spinning from this will still make it spin, but it won't make contact, so you can actually kind of push it back and forth without power, which is nice because it's a pretty light mower compared to the next one here. So $140 new. These new around $2,000. This particular one, with the higher blades, you get more blades on your reel if you want to cut lower. I like to cut low. You don't have to cut as low as me. You can cut around 1/2 inch or 1 inch and get less blades. and there's advantages to that. But basically, I got the maximum blades they have here on the reel that they offer. There's 2 or 3 options, and then there's the Briggs and the Honda engine. I got the Honda. Briggs would be great. Briggs would be perfectly fine. Save a few $100 there. And they have it in a 25 inch. I went with the 20 inch. I don't need the 25 inch because this, I believe, is around a 22. And so I knew I don't want any bigger than that for this small of a yard. So, yeah, fantastic mower. Can't say enough good things. But residential. So this is kind of in order because we're going to commercial next. However, this is the newest mower. This mower is 25 years newer than this mower over here. So this is the Toro Greensmaster. You can tell the age just by looking at some things on here. A lot of stuff, kind of broken, and even got a little bit of duct tape there because I got a bolt that's stuck in there and whatnot. But this is a 1999 Toro Greensmaster GM 1000. Like I said, I believe it has, I'm not going to count, but it's I think it's 9 blades. I think it just has 1 less blade than the McLane. But, I'm still mowing. I still mow very, very low with it. I don't have a grass catcher for this one, which is unfortunate. And that's another thing is with these older mowers, it can be a little bit tricky. It's not bad. It's not bad to get parts, but it can be tricky to find some parts. But the grass catchers are hard to come by. For a plastic grass catcher from Toro, it's $530. $530 for a piece of plastic that there's no, all the hardware's here. This is the hardware here that it would fix onto. Just a plastic mold that would sit right here. $530. It's unbelievable. I just can't believe it. But, because you can get one from, obviously for this, not fair to compare, but I think it's $30 or something. And then this one, I'm not sure what the McLane charges. I think it just comes with one. Mine came with one anyways. But yeah, $530 for a grass catcher. Some parts can be quite expensive on this. $3,500, maybe $3,300, spec how it is. And there's some discounts going around as well. But this brand new, it's $16,000 or something. Whenever you see these, people always have used because the Toro dealers are few and far. Between, I think there's one in all of DFW. It's actually quite close to my house. They're not bad. They are at Turf Products, Professional Turf Products is the name, I think. I can't say bad things about them, but they're not super looking to make the sale. You're a residential guy walking in. They're kind of just if you ever seen the Seinfeld episode where there's no soup for you, when they walk in, you got to follow orders, otherwise you just don't get any soup. That's basically what it's going to these places. It's if you're residential, they don't really care too much about you. So you're just hoping they'll sell you the parts you need to fix your mower. So, like I said, they were fine with me, a couple hiccups, but I'm not going to say anything bad about that. So that's kind of the downside of, having this is it's quite old. You need parts, frequently enough, because unless you've had it for 5 years and you just maintain all your stuff, that's not usually the case. I've only had this for a couple of years, maybe actually only 1 year. I've had it 1 full year. And so I'm always needing things still to fix, things break. Some things you can just get on Amazon, online, eBay, and whatnot, but not everything. It is a Kawasaki engine, so sometimes able to find stuff online on eBay and whatnot for that. But for the mower itself, always trying to source the right part, and it can be, like I said, be a little bit tricky. The thing I don't really like about the Toro is how tricky it can be. Our nice thing is the split drum, where it can, the drums can go opposite direction. That's really nice, but it can be tricky to maneuver when it's not on. Just moving it up my driveway, I'm thinking about just doing the pull start and then, kind of driving it up there under power. That's kind of a small downside, I would say, for this. Here, the McLane, American made, been around forever. just a staple. Like when you think real mower, everyone thinks McLane. So, you know, great product, very good residential mower right there. No complaints. And then over here, perfect entry level. You know, you're probably not going to go right to McLane. I recommend it, but you know, it's once you start seeing the cut that this gives on your lawn compared to any rotary mower. I don't care if you have a $200 rotary mower or a $20,000 rotary mower. This thing will put it to shame. Unbelievable. So, anyways, those are 3 mowers. Any questions, let me know. I'll make some more videos as I get to use some of these mowers more often throughout the season. We're just starting to get green up right now, so the lawn's not super green yet, but we got lots of mowing ahead this season, and we'll get some footage up of all 3.